Kenyans want to know the fact that the outgoing CS did suspend ongoing and any new recruitment. If you are approved, what you're going to do about that? He had proposed a formation of a tripartite committee to look into all those issues. And they are also saying the public servants, they're aging. The public service is an aged lot. And so in the interest of succession planning, what are you going to do if at all you are suspending recruitment? And finally, they're also saying they're raising the concerns on corruption and nepotism, where jobs at the public service are also going to the highest bidder or to whom you know. So if you are approved, what are you going to do about it? So kindly speak to those issues and you'll be, so that we do not bring up the issue again. Thank you.
Chairman, this is just a supplementary question. I hope I don't lose my slot later. Because I'm very interested in this. We're going to third reading of a bill I have sponsored on the public service internship. And I agree with you what you have said. We actually consulted a lot on the private sector, but we realized it needs further engagement on issues to do with private sector because incentives and all that. But now, the direct question that the young people are asking, and they have told me without that amendment in your bill, in the third reading, but then you can stay with your bill. They're saying there has to be provision of them gaining full employment after the internship, because they're saying otherwise, if that is not there, the government and other entities are just enjoying cheap labor. And then they go back, as you have said, after 1 year. And so it is good to be honest, because I know later you'll be told it's budgetary issues. You can commit here and then later you say there's no money. So the young people just want an honest answer, whether they will be employed after their internship. And the last thing just on that, Chairman, is that the last question, I agree with you also on one thing. Public Service Commission, and we engaged during the public participation. Internship is not a preserve of the Public Service Commission. The Parliamentary Service Commission also takes interns, the Judicial Service Commission, other commissions in TAC, which actually has a good practice where they have a merit list. So instead of advertising again for new people to get full employment, why don't we have a database of the ones who've done internship, and they be given priority when it is time for employment, and they create space for others to get internship?
Mr. Chairman, can I? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And through you, Mr. Chairman, I want to respond to the issues raised by the member for Teso South, the Honorable Mary Amase, where she raised the issue of a circular. And let me first of all say that I haven't come across any such circular. It was a pronouncement which I think has not been secularized. The issue that I'm aware of is that, of course, which every one of us is aware, is the issue of the austerity measures being implemented currently, which have necessitated some temporary or sort of a moratorium on recruitment. It is not that it has been stopped. So it is not. I don't think that it's right for us to say that there's been a circular. There hasn't been any, because I've gone through. It's an issue that I was addressing when I met with the senior staff of the ministry. Mr. Chairman, the issue of aging staff is true, and this also speaks to the question of succession planning. And I think it is right to point to say that something somewhere has gone wrong within the HR department, the human resource area. Because it is true, Mr. Chairman, you find, honorable members, you find that some very, very senior people in the public service, the people that deputize, and they are almost exiting the service, but the people deputizing them, are so lowly placed. I think that is a mistake that must be corrected immediately. And it's a matter of us having to engage properly with the Public Service Commission, because people are all over. But some certain things which I believe maybe we will have occasion to discuss later, the issue of training, on-job training, seems to have taken some back seats. And that is where the problem of aging staff, people wanting to remain without people sufficiently well prepared and trained to take over their positions. I think it is a mistake. It needs to be addressed as soon as possible. The Honorable Mary Master, through you, Mr. Chairman, did raise the issue of corruption in recruitment. Mr. Chairman, this is, I think, a thorn in all areas of, most of the publics in the entire gamut of public service recruitments, because there's a lot of opaqueness. Positions are advertised. When people are long listed, you see names, and they are shortlisted, then you don't know what the process is that happen thereafter. And connected to this, Mr. Chairman, is if you read Article 232 of the Constitution on the mandate and functions of the Public Service Commission, among others, is to ensure efficiency and effectiveness in the public service. And the other value and principle is the diversity of Kenya, diversity among regions and communities. It is a value that is embedded in that Article 232. But, Mr. Chairman, you and I will know, sometimes it's very difficult, and we have seen reports that have been published that really show skewed, very skewed situations about how many people, how many civil servants are in which area. And, Mr. Chairman, I'm not blowing my trumpet, but I want to tell the country and this committee that while I worked here, we had occasion to, first of all, before making placements, to indicate, first of all, to get to know how many people already are in service and from which counties, so as to ensure that those counties that do not have representation here, even through affirmative action, get the chance to work at this premier institution, national premier institution called Parliament. Mr. Chairman, in addressing this issue, these are some of the practices that I would want to suggest to the Public Service Commission to employ, because every part of Kenya deserves a chance to serve in the public service. Mr. Chairman, I have sympathy with what the Honorable Lesunda, through you, has been told by the young people as she was processing her bill. Mr. Chairman, we must say this without feeling shy about it. It may not be possible for the public service, indeed not just may, it cannot be possible for the public service to employ every Kenyan that goes through the training. But it is the duty of government to ensure that we have policies and programs that make it possible for the economy to absorb those whom we train in our various institutions of higher learning and others. So it's an altruism, and I think I want to agree with the honourable member that I don't want to be visited to be haunted by nightmares. If I give a commitment here that we will absorb, Mr. Chairman, we may not be able to, but we have to look for ways of ensuring that those that have been taken through the process finally find some placement one way or other. There are various options available.
Thank you. Before